Previously on Sailing Terrapin, we make landfall at Puerto Clara Marina on Lanzarote in the Canary Islands. We go scuba diving and do a little surfing. We love spending time with family and friends, and Thanksgiving presented the perfect opportunity. We hopped on a flight for an overnight to Madrid and then flew across the Atlantic to Atlanta, Georgia. Time went by quickly, and before we knew it, we were back on Terrapin, heading from Lanzarote to Gran Canary.
So we just left Lanzarote, Puerto Clara Marina, where we were for about a month. It was a great place. We're sailing super slow on our way to Gran Canary, the Las Palmas Marina. We have a booze cruise over here next to us, and we have Puerto Clara Marina behind us, and we should make Las Palmas sometime tomorrow. We're going so slow, it's no big deal. We can have a nice relaxing sail. That's it. So tell us what's going on, Molly.
So Doggy wants rubbies, and so I'm giving them to her because she's the boss, and then she gives me kisses. But this is what an average sail looks like. We have about 14 knots of wind from a broad reach, which is about 120 degrees off our quarter stern, and we're doing about, I don't know, between 5 and 6 knots. And Las Palmas is 75 miles away, and at this speed we should be there at 4:30 in the morning, which won't work. So instead we'll slow down when we're about 15 miles out, if we're still going this speed. And then tonight we'll have a traffic separation scheme with oil tankers that we have to cross, and we'll cross it like Frogger, and got a couple sailboats behind us.
How's your morning, Baxter?
I'm a little tired, but it's okay. Nice that we're only 9 miles from Las Palmas.
Gran Canary, with the beautiful sunrise. We just turned on the engine for the first time because the wind went down to 2 knots. There's Gran Canary.
There's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you.
So we're coming into Gran Canary, and it's this refraction of the waves against the island, and it's super rolly coming into the port, and we have cargo ships coming up behind us, cargo ships at anchor. That guy's coming towards us, and cargo ships coming out, small fishing boats coming out. Last hour has been the hardest part of the whole passage.
arrived in Las Palmas, and because it's a popular port, the space on the dock was limited. So we went to the Port Authority to check in, and 2 hours later, we finally had a slip. Gran Canary is one of 7 islands in the Canary Island archipelago. Las Palmas is the capital of Gran Canary and is actually the 9th largest city in the country of Spain. Our slip was at the Muelle Deportivo, which basically translates as a city marina. It's a very popular place for transient boats who can get protection from the wind and the waves that come across the Atlantic Ocean. Now that we were settled in our slip, it was time to work on boat projects.
What's going on?
So we used to only be able to start our generator from going back in the generator panel because all the generator switches, the ones down here, the preheat, start, and shutdown, were all rusted out. So I have bought 3 new switches from Westerbeek. I had to bring those in from the US. And now I'm replacing them. And there's like one old rusty one, and there's one new one. And of course, when you start pulling these things out, screws break. The old wiring needs to be replaced, so it's a bit of a headache. We haven't done it before, but for the Atlantic crossing it'll be easier to start our generator from the panel.
Brown on the side. So we're in Las Palmas, Gran Canary, and we were walking by the chandleries, and they had some soundproofing insulation for the engine, and we have some, but Terrapin's 40 years old, so it's disintegrated, and we don't really have much anymore. So we downloaded a decibel meter app, and we're going to test what the engine sounds like without the insulation, and then we're going to install it and see how much noise reduction we get. So Baxter just started the engine, and the decibel meter is showing about 77 decibels, which is like what they call loud singing. I don't know if you can see that, but anyways, so we will add the insulation inside the engine panel and see if this is reduced. Baxter's bringing the engine up to normal RPMs, so that's about 90 decibels. So we had some old insulation on the engine compartment door, so we have that, and then some right there, but then we added some on the top of the cabinet, and we'll put some over on the side where Baxter is, but right now he's screwing it in so that it doesn't fall on the engine, that the sticky doesn't somehow come undone and then this whole thing falls on the engine and cause bigger problems. And then we did the transmission door, and we have a couple extra pieces that we're gonna find a place for. So Baxter added some to the top, and then over on that panel over there, and then there was some leftover on already there on those two panels, and then we put it on the transmission door, and it looks good. We're thinking about putting some back here. I'm not sure yet, but
We're going to put some right back there.
that goes to our cabin, so that might help reduce some of the noise in our cabin. Okay, so we added some to the transmission compartment, there and there, and it's all shiny and pretty. And then again, we have some in the engine. And all of this is brought to you by this little light. Thank you, Ed and Becca. We use that often. And then we're going to add some to those rattling hoses right there that rattle against the bulkhead and drive us crazy every time we motor. And then we should be done.
Boat projects complete. Time to explore.
Entrance to Las Palmas faces southeast, and we have a strong southeast wind, and it's creating a very rolly boat. It's Christmas Eve, and it's pretty chaotic right now here at Las Palmas Muelle Deportivo.
We had just a couple things left to prepare for crossing the Atlantic Ocean, including our propane with the UK bottle and the US bottle, and then some extra diesel just in case. Next on Sailing Terrapin, our friends Dan and Jen arrive in Las Palmas, and we begin our passage across the Atlantic Ocean.